Hello students, welcome to the logic class. Let us resume our discussion from fallacies. Today we will discuss informal deductive fallacies and inductive fallacies. So, let us know what are these informal fallacies. Informal fallacies are of three types. Fallacies of ambiguity, second fallacies of presumption, and third fallacies of relevance. Now, what is this fallacies of ambiguity? So, students, when I say, all of you understand what do I mean, because it has a particular meaning, it has a definite meaning. मु जहा कहूची तुमे बुझी पारुच, but if I use a sentence, if I use a word which has more than one meaning, then it will be difficult for you to know the exact meaning of the sentence, exact meaning of the word. That means, the sentence is used ambiguously, word is used ambiguously. Ambiguous use means an ambiguous sentence means it has more than one meaning, unambiguous word means it has more than one meaning. So, fallacies of ambiguity are of different types. One is fallacy of equivocation, fallacy of division, then fallacy of composition, fallacy of amphiboly, and the last one is fallacy of accent. Now, we will discuss the fallacy of equivocation. Under fallacy of equivocation, you have three types of fallacies: fallacy of ambiguous middle, fallacy of ambiguous major, fallacy of ambiguous minor. Now, what is this fallacy of equivocation? When a word is used ambiguously in an argument, then we commit the fallacy of equivocation. You know, in an argument, in a syllogism, we have three terms. One is major term, second is minor term, and the third one is your middle term. And each term occurs twice in the argument. प्रति term दुई थर occur करे, and the rule is the terms should be used in the same sense throughout the argument. जो term टा दुई थर occur करे, दुईटा जागरे तारो meaning समान रहिबा कथा. But if it has a meaning at one place and it has a different meaning at another place, then that term becomes ambiguous term. Okay? Now, let us see the fallacy of ambiguous middle. All language users are men, no women are men, therefore, no women are language users. You know, middle term occurs in both the premises. So, what is your middle term here? Your middle term is man. Now, first premise, that means your major premise is all language users are men. ता माने जो माने language use करंती से माने होचंती man. Man means what do we mean? We mean all human beings. So, here man is used in the inclusive sense. Inclusive sense means man includes both males and females. ता माने पुरुष और स्त्री दी जनों को mean करें. And the second proposition, you look at the proposition, no women are men. When I say no women are men, here I make a distinction between men and women on the basis of sex. So, I say no women are men, by men I mean only the male members. So, here you see the meaning of the man is different at both the places. In the major premise, it means all human beings, both male and female. In the minor premise, I mean only the male members. So, the conclusion becomes no women are language users. This is a wrong conclusion. This is your fallacy of ambiguous middle. Now, coming to the next fallacy, fallacy of ambiguous major. You know, the predicate term of the conclusion is known as major term, and if the major term is used ambiguously, then we commit the fallacy of ambiguous major. So, the example is light helps us to see things. A piece of cotton does not help us to see things, therefore, a piece of cotton is not light. So, here you see light is used ambiguously. This term is used ambiguously. This has two different meaning at two different places. In the major premise, आमे कहूचु light helps us to see things. What do you mean by light? Light माने कौन? Which is opposite to darkness, माने आलोको. एठी आमे light माने बुझुचु आलोको. Then in the conclusion we say a piece of cotton is not light. Here light means which is opposite to heaviness, that means halka. Okay. So, light at one place it is used as opposite to darkness, at another place it is used as opposite to heaviness. So, here light is used ambiguously, this is the major term. So, we commit the fallacy of ambiguous major. Now, the next fallacy, that is your fallacy of ambiguous minor. You know, minor term, where does it occur? The subject of the conclusion is known as the minor term. So, it is the subject of the conclusion and also it occurs in the minor premise. Minor premise रे हुए और subject of the conclusion को मध्य कुहा जाए minor term. So, the argument is a measuring rod is not a part of the body. Foot is a measuring rod. Therefore, foot is not a part of the body. So, here you see the second proposition, minor premise, foot is a measuring rod. What do you mean by foot? Foot means foot scale, जोउथिरे तुमे measure करो, मापो जोउथिरे, foot scale. Then in the conclusion, when we say foot is not a part of the body, by foot we mean a limb of the body, a part of the body. So, here foot is used in two different senses. At one place it means foot scale, at another place it means part of the body or limb of the body. So, here minor term is used ambiguously, it has two different meaning. So, it is called the fallacy of ambiguous minor. Okay? कारण तमर जो टर्म यूज हुए से टर्म सब बेले दुई थर यूज हुए आउ दुई थर जाक मीनिंगटा सेम रहिबा कथा, समान रहिबा कथा, किंतु जदि मीनिंगटा डिफरेंट हो गला, गोटे जगह गोटे मीनिंग आ गोटे जगह आउ गोटे मीनिंग, ताहले सेटा एम्बिग्युअस मिडिल हो जिवो, नहले एम्बिग्युअस मेजर, नहले एम्बिग्युअस माइनर. Now, we will come to the next fallacy, that is your fallacy of division. What do we divide? We always divide a higher class to the lower class. We divide a class to subclasses, or we divide a class to individuals, or we divide a collection of the things to different individuals. Okay? So, what is this fallacy of division? This fallacy says that if something is true of the class may not be true of an individual member of the class. If something is true of the whole class, that may not be true of any individual member of the class. जदि गोटे जिनस क्लास पाखरे ट्रू होचे सेटा गोटे इंडिविजुअल मेंबर पाखरे ट्रू न हेई पारे. ओके, सो व्हेन वी पास फ्रॉम द कलेक्टिव यूज ऑफ ए टर्म टू इट्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव यूज we commit the fallacy of division. If question comes, what is fallacy of division? You have to write, when we pass from collective use of a term to its distributive use, we commit the fallacy of division. Now, let us see the example. All the angles of a triangle are equal to two right angles. ABC is an angle of a triangle, therefore, ABC is equal to two right angles. So, here you see the major premise. All the angles of a triangle are equal to two right angles. ता माने गोटे त्रिभुजर तीन कोणर समष्टि होची 180 degree. So, here you can find the diagram of a triangle. It has three angles, A angle, B angle and C angle. So, A angle and B angle plus C angle collectively make 180 degree. तीनी कोण मिसिकरी होची 180 degree. So, here angles is used collectively. Angles is used in the collective sense. तेणु angles टाको आमे collectively use करूछु. That means angles कहले collection of angles. Here we mean all these three angles. When all these three angles are combined together, we get 180 degree. So, A angle, B angle, C angle collectively make 180 degree. In the next proposition, we say ABC is an angle of a triangle. ABC means which angle we mean? We mean only B angle. We mean only one angle. So, ABC is an angle of a triangle. So, here we say angle. Angle is used here distributively. Distributively means separately. So, in the major premise, angles is used collectively. In the minor premise, angle is used distributively. कारण गोटे angle को आमे mean करिचु. If we pass from the collective use to the distributive use, then we commit the fallacy of division. So, here the conclusion is ABC is equal to two right angles, and this is a wrong conclusion. This is your fallacy of division. Now, let us see the fallacy of composition. Fallacy of composition is just the reverse of the fallacy of division. Eta fallacy of division or ulta. In fallacy of division, we pass from collective use to the distributive use. But in fallacy of composition, we pass from distributive use to the collective use. That means, if something is true of an individual, that may not be true of the whole class. जोटा गोटे individual पाखरे true, सेटा पूरा class पाखरे true न हे पारे. Okay, let us see the example. 3 and 4 are odd and even. 7 is 3 and 4. Therefore, 7 is odd and even. So, first proposition is 3 and 4 are odd and even. Here we have taken 3 separately, 4 also separately. We have taken 3 distributively, 4 also distributively. We say 3 is odd and 4 is even. Odd means, you know, odd means the number which is not divisible by 2. Even means the number which is divisible by 2. So, एठी आमे कौन कहूचु? आमे कहूचु 3 and 4 are odd and even. ता माने 3 is odd and 4 is even. So, here we mean distributively that 3 is odd number and 4 is even number. आमे separately mean करूचु. 3 को separately कहूचु, 4 को मध्य separately कहूचु. But in the minor premise, when we say 7 is 3 and 4, that means when 3 is added to 4, we get 7. 3 और 4 मिसी गले 7 हबो. So, 3 and 4 together they become 7. Here we have taken 3 and 4 collectively. एठी आमे 3 and 4 को collectively नेइचु कारण 3 और 4 को आमे मिसौचु एठी collection of 3 and 4 दुईटा जाक को आमे मिसौचु. So, here 3 and 4 is taken collectively. So, here we pass from distributive use of a term to the collective use of a term, and this is fallacious. This is a fallacious argument, and conclusion also is wrong. Conclusion becomes 7 is odd and even. This is wrong. Can 7 be odd and even? No, 7 is an odd number. 7 is not an even number. So, the conclusion also is wrong. And this fallacy of division, fallacy of composition, these are very important questions. Most of the time these two questions come in your examination. Next fallacy is fallacy of amphiboly or amphibology. So, students, this fallacy arises when a sentence is used ambiguously. That means, a sentence does not have a fixed meaning, a sentence does not have a particular meaning, rather it has more than one meaning. जेतेबेले गोटे सेंटेंस रो गोटे पर्टिकुलर मीनिंग न हेकरी गोटे मीनिंग रु बेसी मीनिंग रहिबो, we will say that the sentence is used ambiguously, and that fallacy is known as fallacy of amphiboly or amphibology. Let us see one example. Meera went to market thrice on Saturday and Sunday. This is a sentence, but it does not have a definite meaning. It does not have a particular meaning. तार गोटे meaning नहीं. It can be interpreted in two ways. So, one will say Meera went to market thrice on Saturday and thrice on Sunday. So, that means in total she went to market 6 times. जणे कहिला से सैटरडे रे 3 दिन गला आउ संडे रे मध्य 3 दिन गला, ता माने केते दिन गला से 6 टाइम्स गला. सो जणे इंटरप्रेट कला ए सेंटेंस को जे मीरा वेंट टू मार्केट 6 टाइम्स ऑन सैटरडे एंड संडे. अनदर मैन, हाउ डज ही इंटरप्रेट? ही सेज no, मीरा वेंट टू मार्केट थ्राइस ऑन Saturday and Sunday including. That means से Saturday आउ Sunday को मिसई करी 3 थर जाइछि. जणे कहला 6 टाइम्स जाइछि, जणे कहला 3 टाइम्स जाइछि. So here you see the sentence is an ambiguous sentence. It can be interpreted differently. So if such type of sentences are there, we commit the fallacy of amphiboly or amphibology. Now, the next fallacy is fallacy of accent. You know, suppose I say a particular sentence that the fan is moving, roses are red. I utter these sentences and you know the meaning of these sentences. It has a definite meaning. I mean a particular thing by this sentence. एटा होची sentences तार meaning मु जानिछि, तुमे माने मध्य जानिछो. If I deliberately, if I intentionally shift my emphasis to another part of the sentence, again to another part of the sentence, then the meaning also will keep on changing. ता माने कौन मु गोटे सेंटेंस कहूची, सेंटेंस रो गोटे मीनिंग अच्छी, गोटे ओरिजिनल मीनिंग रही. जदि गोटे पार्ट सेंटेंस रु मु आउ गोटे पार्ट सेंटेंस को एम्फासाइज करी ता मीनिंग चेंज हो जिवो. पुणी आउ गोटे पार्ट को चेंज करी ता मीनिंग अगेन इट विल चेंज. सो द मीनिंग विल कीप ऑन चेंजिंग if I shift my emphasis from one part of the sentence to another part of the sentence, again to another part of the sentence. Let us see one example. I did not sell that cow to you. If I give emphasis to I उपरे जदि मु emphasis देबी, so what will be the meaning? I did not sell that cow to you. That means मु बिक्री करी नाही. Someone else sold the cow to you. आउ जणे लोक के बिक्री करिछि. If I give emphasis to sell, then this will be I did not sell that cow to you. ता माने मु सेटा को बिक्री करिनी. I might have donated the cow to you. मु हुए तो डोनेट करी देछि, मु बिक्री करी नाही. मु जदि that ऊपर emphasize करिबी, then it will be I did not sell that cow to you. That means I did not sell that cow. I sold another cow to you. सेई cow को मु बिक्री करी नहीं, मु आउ गोटे cow को बिक्री करिछे. Then you see how I will shift my emphasis and the meaning also will keep on changing. Then if I give emphasis to cow, then it will be I did not sell that cow to you. That means I did not sell that cow to you. Rather I sold a sheep or a goat to you. मु काओटा गाई बिक्री करिनी, मु मेंढा बिक्री करछि नले छेली बिक्री करिछि. Okay. If I give emphasis to you, then it will be I did not sell that cow to you. That means I did not sell that cow to you. I sold it to someone else. Okay. So here you see, when I shift my emphasis from one part of the sentence to another part of the sentence, then meaning changes from the original meaning. Okay. This is the fallacy of accent. Now we will move to the fallacies of presumption. So under fallacies of presumption, you have fallacy of accident, fallacy of converse accident, fallacy of petitio principii, fallacy of Platt's interrogations, then fallacy of false dilemma. Let us discuss all these fallacies one by one. The fallacy of accident. What is this fallacy of accident? You know, a term may have a general use, a term may have a special use. A term has a general use when it is commonly accepted by all. So, a term has a general use, that means it is true under general conditions. Okay. So, that means what is true of a thing when considered in a general way, that may not be true of that thing when considered in a special way. Okay. So, when we pass from the general use to the special use, we commit the fallacy of accident. जेतेबेले आमे जनरल यूज रु स्पेशल यूज को आसीबु सेतेबेले हमर फालासी हबो फालासी ऑफ एक्सीडेंट. लेट अस सी द एग्जांपल. वाटर इज लिक्विड, आइस इज वाटर, देयरफॉर आइस इज लिक्विड. वाटर इज लिक्विड. द जनरल कंडीशन ऑफ वाटर इज लिक्विड. ता माने कोन? पानी सबु बेले तरल अवस्था रुहे. दिस इज द जनरल कंडीशन. वी ड्रिंक वाटर, वी यूज वाटर. एटा सबु बेले लिक्विड अवस्था थाए. सो दिस इज द जनरल कंडीशन ऑफ वाटर. व्हेन आई से आइस इज वाटर, दैट मीन्स आइस इज वाटर बट अंडर ए स्पेशल कंडीशन. व्हेन वाटर इज फ्रोजन, वी गेट आइस. When we freeze water in the refrigerator, we get ice. So, here water is used in the special sense. In the first proposition, water is used in a general sense. In the second proposition, it is used in a special sense. So, here we pass from the general use to the special use. We pass from general use of a term to the special use of the term and we commit the fallacy. Here the conclusion is ice is liquid. This is wrong conclusion and this is your fallacy of accident. This is also an important fallacy. Then fallacy of converse accident. Fallacy of converse accident is just the reverse of the fallacy of accident. फालासी ऑफ एक्सीडेंट रे आमे कोन करूथिलु? आमे जनरल यूज रु स्पेशल यूज को जाउथिलु. बट इन फालासी ऑफ कन्वर्स एक्सीडेंट रे आमे कोन करू? आमे स्पेशल यूज रु जनरल यूज को जाउ. सो इट मीन्स व्हाट इज ट्रू ऑफ ए थिंग व्हेन कंसीडर्ड इन ए स्पेशल वे may not be true of that thing when considered in a general way. So, here we pass from special use of a term to the general use of it. So, let us see the example. What is bought in the market is eaten. What do we purchase from the market? We purchase rice, we purchase vegetable, we purchase pulses, we purchase fish, we purchase meat, everything we purchase from the market. Market ru ame sabu kinuchu. So lekhichu what is bought in the market is eaten. Whatever we purchase from the market, that is eaten. How do we eat those? Kemiti ame taku khauchu? After it is cooked. Rosei kari sarila pore, cook kari sarila pore khauchu. So here after it is cooked is not written, you have to understand this. So whatever we purchase from the market, that we eat after it is cooked. Okay. So here what is bought in the market is used in the special sense. कारण जोटा आमे किणुचु ताकू कुकिंग करी सारिला परे आमे खाउचु. So it is used in the special sense. Now raw meat is bought in the market. We purchase everything from the market. As I told you, we purchase vegetable, we purchase rice, we purchase pulses, we purchase fish, we purchase raw meat, we purchase mutton, everything we purchase from the market. So in that way we purchase raw meat from the market. So here but in the market, this is used in the general sense. This is the general use, everything we purchase from the market. So here what happens, we pass from the special use to the general use. Special use ru general use ku asilu. So the conclusion is raw meat is eaten. Raw meat is eaten. So this is wrong conclusion. So this is the fallacy of converse accident. Okay. Now the next fallacy is fallacy of begging the question. This is also known as fallacy of petitio principii. It means we assume the same thing what we want to prove. Suppose we want to prove something, gote ko ame prove kariba ko chahuchu, but instead of proving that we again say the same thing. We restate that in a slightly different form. जो जिनिस को प्रूव करबा को चाहूचु प्रूव ताको प्रूव न करिकरी आमे पुणी सेई जिनसटा को आउ थरे कहूचु टिके डिफरेंट फॉर्म रे. ओके. सपोज ए ग्लास इज ट्रांसपेरेंट. Someone asks, why is the glass transparent? Prove this. Why is this glass transparent? Then you say the glass is transparent because we are able to see through it. See through it. See through it means glass रा एपट चाहिए सेपटे देखा जीवो and transparent रा माने मध्य सेया. So here we do not prove transparent. Rather we say the same thing in a slightly different form. We say the glass is transparent because we are able to see through it. Then he will ask, what do you mean by see through it? Then again you will say that this is transparent. What is transparent? Now we are able to see through it. So this goes on in a circle, goes on in a circle. Suppose another example, suppose a person says a thing is visible. Just prove this. Why is the thing visible? Kahingi jinsata visible hoche. Then you say it is visible because we can see it. So what does this mean? Visible ra mane jaha we can see it ra mane seya. Tenu saman jinsa ko tume au thare kahucha. So this is the fallacy of petitio principii, and this is also known as fallacy of begging the question, and this is a very important fallacy. Now coming to the next fallacy. Fallacy of complex questions or fallacy of many questions. This is also known as fallacy of plus interrogations. Plus means many, interrogations means questions. एठी पिले कौन हुए different questions are combined together to form a single question. केते गुडे question मिसिकरी गोटे question हेजिवो. Then you are expected to answer in the form of yes or no, and not more than that. You have to say yes or no. तेणु गोटे क्वेश्चन हम तुमको कहुब यू गिव आंसर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ येस और नो. येस कहब ना नो कहब. यू कैन नॉट से मोर देन दैट. ताठू बेसी कहब नाही. यूजुअली द एडवोकेट्स दे use this technique to defend their clients. You know, advocates, they plead for their clients in the courts. Suppose one witness has come, sakhi jo mane diyanti, one witness has come, he is in the witness box and he has come to depose against his client. सी तार advocate रो client against रे कहिबाकू आसी, साखी दबाकू आसी. Now the advocate will ask the question, have you stopped beating your wife? Answer me yes or no, not more than that. Advocate कहबो जे तू तो स्त्री को पिटिबा बंद करी चुकी, मते yes कह नहले no कह, आउ किछि कहबोने. If he says yes, that means he was in the past he was beating his wife, at present he has stopped beating his wife. तामाने आगुरु पिटुथिला एबे बंद कर देछि पिटिबा. If he says no, that means he is still beating his wife. वर्तमान मध्य ता स्त्री को से पिटुचे. So say yes कहो, no कहो, that person will be in an awkward position. Okay? Suppose let us see another example. Suppose the advocate will say that have you stopped drinking? तू पीबा छाड़ी दे चुकी? Tell me yes or no. Answer me. If he says yes, that means in the past he was drinking, now he is not drinking. आगुरु पिउथिला एबे छाड़ी देछि. If he says no, that means he is still drinking. वर्तमान मध्य से पिउचे. So the advocate will tell the judge, Your Honor, this person is a drunkard and his evidence cannot be taken as authentic, his evidence cannot be taken as proper evidence. So this puts the person in difficulty. Actually here what happens, this question contains two parts. One about the past conduct of the person, another about the present conduct of the person. तेणु से लोक जे विटनेस सी एक्चुअली कौन करिबा कथा, he should have divided the question into two parts. He should have said, before I was not drinking and now also I am not drinking. से क्वेश्चन को दुईटा पार्ट रे डिवाइड करि दबा कथा. से कहिबा कथा आगरु मु पिउ नथिली किबा एबे मध्य मु पिउ नाही. But he is not allowed to say that. He is allowed to say only yes or no. And if he says yes or no, whatever his answer may be, he will land in trouble. He will be put in trouble. Okay. So this is your fallacy of complex questions or fallacy of many questions. Now false dilemma. Dilemma I have taught you. You know, suppose two persons are arguing, दुई जन argue करुछन्ते. Two and one person gives a dilemmatic argument to the opponent. जणे गोटे dilemmatic argument आर जन को देई देला. जो dilemmatic argument देला सेथिरे कोन रहिबो? Dilemma means there are only two alternatives. Only two alternatives will be there. And there will not be any third alternatives. And these two alternatives are exhaustive in character. And both the alternatives are quite bad alternatives, undesirable alternatives. And the person, the opponent is bound to accept one of the alternatives. दुईटा जाका खराब alternative किंतु opponent गोटे को accept करिबा को बाध्य. आ जोटा भी से accept करिवो सी असुविधा रे पड़ी जिवो. Because these two alternatives are just like the two horns of a dangerous animal. सी जुआड़े जीव, he will be pierced by the horns of that animal. So dilemma means there are only two alternatives. There is no third alternative. But sometimes बेले बेले कौन हुए, dilemma रे दीटा alternative न थाए, आ गोटे third alternative मध्य थाए. If the opponent is a very clever opponent, he will immediately point out that no, there are not two alternatives, there is a third alternative I can accept that alternative. That is quite favorable to me and I will be glad to accept that alternative. ମୁଁ तुमको गोटे एग्जांपल आगु देइथली सेही एग्जांपल कहूची द एथेनियन मदर आस्क्स हर सन नॉट टू गो आउट and her son always goes out. So, what is her dilemma? Dilemmatic argument is if the day is hot, then you should not go out to avoid exhaustion. If the day is cold, then you should not go out to avoid exposure. जदि गरम होउथिबो तू बाहर को जीवनी टायर्ड हे जीवो जदि ठंडा होउथिबो ताहेले मध्ये तू बाहर को जीवनी you will catch cold and fever. Then minor premise, either the day is hot or the day is cold. These are the two alternatives. These are the two horns of a dilemma. Then the conclusion is you should not go out either to avoid exhaustion or to avoid exposure. So, here the son is very clever. Now, he will point out that mom, some part of the day is neither hot nor cold. There is a very pleasant weather and I can go at that time. I can use that time, at that time I can go out. So, here you see how does he bring out a third alternative and that third alternative is favorable to him and this is called false dilemma because there are not two alternatives, there are three alternatives. Okay? So, this is your false dilemma. Now, we have fallacies of relevance. And under fallacies of relevance, we have ignoratio elenchi, argumentum ad hominem, ad populum, ad ignorantium. So, all these fallacies are there, we will discuss later on. Now, we will move to the inductive fallacies. You know, there are deductive arguments, there are inductive arguments. And fallacies are committed in both deductive arguments and inductive arguments. When we have fallacies in the inductive arguments, then these fallacies are known as inductive fallacies. जेतेबेले inductive argument रे error आसीबो fallacy आसीबो ताकु कुहाजिबो inductive fallacies. Again, inductive fallacies are of three types. One is inferential fallacies, second is non-inferential fallacies and the third one is extra logical fallacies. Now, inferential fallacies, what is this? You know, inductive argument has certain rules. If we violate the rules of inference, if we violate the rules of inductive inference, then we get the inferential fallacies. Okay? Now, non-inferential fallacies, these arise due to the violation of the rules of classification, explanation, hypothesis and observation. These things are not important for us, this is not in your course, we will not discuss this. Then extra logical fallacies. So, under extra logical fallacies, we have fallacy of undue assumption. Under fallacy of undue assumption, we have two fallacies, fallacy of petitio principii and fallacy of falsity of a premise. Then we have ignoratio elenchi. Now, let us discuss this inferential fallacies. You know, there are three types of inductions proper: scientific induction, unscientific induction and analogy. They have their rules. When we violate these rules, then we have three types of fallacies corresponding to these three inductions proper. What are those fallacies? Fallacies of causation, fallacy of illicit generalization, then fallacy of false analogy. Now, let us discuss these fallacies of causation. Now, you know, scientific induction is the best form of induction. It is the induction par excellence. Why? Because it is based on law of causation. Eita causation upare base kariche. In causation, there are two concepts. One is cause, the other is effect. Cause is the antecedent and effect is the consequent. Cause is that which produces something, effect is that which is produced by the cause. So, cause comes first, then comes effect. Cause is prior, effect is posterior. And you know, There is causal relation between milk and curd. There is causal relation between food and nourishment. So, two things are causally connected. When we are able to discover that there is a causal connection between two phenomena, then observation of a few instances is sufficient for the generalization. जदि आमे दुईटा फेनोमेना भितरे कॉजल रिलेशन पाइजिबो, दुईटा जिनस भितरे कॉजल रिलेशन पाइजिबो, सेठी हमर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ इंस्टांसेस देखिबा दरकार नाही, सेठी आमे अल्प एग्जांपल देखिकरी मध्य आमे कंक्लूजन को पळे आसीबो, जनरलाइजेशन को पळे आसीबो. जनरलाइजेशन इज अबाउट ऑल. ओके, सो साइंटिफिक इंडक्शन गोटे एग्जांपल दउछि तमे बुझी परिबो. राम इज मोर्टल, हरि इज मोर्टल, गोपाल इज मोर्टल and so on. Therefore, all men are mortal. Here we know that there is a causal relation between life and death. Whoever has life must die. जहार लाइफ अच्छी से निश्चिंत तार डेथ हब. तेणु जितेबाला आम जानिलु जे दुईटा भितर कॉजल रिलेशन रही सेतेबेले आम एग्जांपल बेसी एग्जांपल देखिबा दरकार नाही. वी कैन फाइंड ओनली ए फ्यू इंस्टांसेस. से अल्प एग्जांपल रो वी कैन कम टू द कंक्लूजन ऑल मेन आर मोर्टल. So, all men are mortal. This is a generalization. All men means I say about the entire class, I say about the whole class, and here the conclusion is more probable. Okay. So, this is your scientific induction. Now, there are certain rules of causation. Qualitatively, the cause is an invariable, unconditional, immediate antecedent of the effect. ता माने कौन? cause होची immediate, ता माने effect रो just आगुरु cause आसीबो. एटा इनभारिएबल, ता माने सबो बेले से cause टा effect, सबो बेले जदि effect टा हबो, effect जदि ई अछि ता आगुरु सेही cause टा सबो बेले थिबो. तमर जदि फ्लड होची, फ्लड आगुरु सबो बेले हेवी रेन थिबो, हेवी रेन टा होची इनभारिएबल, सबो बेले थिबो. आ एटा इमीडिएट आउ इनभारिएबल. एटा मते अनकंडीशनल. अनकंडीशनल मीन्स दिस डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन एनी अदर कंडीशन टू प्रोड्यूस द इफेक्ट. एई कॉजटा आउ कहा ऊपर डिपेंड करिबो नाही इफेक्टटा आनिबाको. तेनु हेवी रेन हेले फ्लड आसी जिवो. हेवी रेन आउ कहा ऊपर डिपेंड करिबोनी फ्लड आसीबा पाई. ओके, सो कॉज इज an invariable, immediate, unconditional antecedent to the effect. Then quantitatively, the cause is equal to the effect in respect of matter and energy. That means the amount of the matter and energy found in the cause is equal to the amount of matter and energy found in the effect. कॉज जेतेबेले इफेक्ट आसीजिबो, कॉज आउ रहिबोनी, केवल इफेक्ट रहिबो. कॉज रे जो मैटर आउ एनर्जी थिबे सेटा इफेक्ट को पळे आसीबो. सेथिरे किछि बढ़िबोनी कि कमिबोनी, जहा थिबो सेमति पळे आसीबो. आउ गोटे रूल हला, कॉज इज द सम टोटल ऑफ कंडीशंस पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव टेकन टुगेदर. Okay, if we violate these rules, then we get the fallacies of causation. Now let us see the first fallacy, fallacy of non causa and pro causa. Non causa, pro causa, this means here we take any event to be the cause which is not really the cause. जेकोसी गोटे इवेंट को आमे कॉज भाबरे नहीं जाउछु, किंतु सेटा कॉज नुहे. आमे जेकोसी इवेंट को कॉज भाबरे नहीं जाउछु. दिस इज कॉल्ड द fallacy of non causa pro causa. This is actually a generic name. Generic name means this is a name for all the fallacies that come under causation. Causation under जेते fallacy आसे सब गुड़ा को आमे ए non causa pro causa कहि परिबा से गुड़ा को. Then the next fallacy is fallacy of post hoc ergo propter hoc. This is also known as काकताळीय न्याय or crow-palm argument. Fallacy of post hoc ergo propter hoc. This means after this, therefore due to this. Suppose one effect is there, ता पूर्वरु गोटे जिनस घटी ताले सेटा को आमे कॉज भाव में नहीं जीवा. काकताळीय न्याय माने कौन? काक मीन्स क्रो, ताळीय ताल मीन्स पाम and न्याय means argument. So, crow palm argument, what do you mean by this? Crow palm argument means, suppose a crow comes, gote cow asuchi and crow comes and it sits on the leaf of a palm tree. Palm tree ro gachare basi jauchi. Then immediately one palm falls down. Gote talo toluku khasi gala. You will say, what is the cause of the falling of the palm? Kono? Na ta agru jo incident heichi, ta agru kon heichi? Sitting of the crow. So we say sitting of the crow is the cause of the falling of the palm. So this is crow kakka taliya nyaya. Let us take another example. Suppose a marriage took place. Just after the marriage, the daughter-in-law came to her father-in-law's house. Then what happened? The father-in-law died. The moment she stepped in, father-in-law died. So then people say that she is a bad lady, she is not a good lady, she is an evil lady and she will bring all troubles to the house. That is why drive her out. So you must have seen this occurring in the society. Society re emti hue. But she is not the cause of the death of father-in-law. Since long father-in-law was bedridden. He was a chronic diabetic and he had multi-organ failure. He just wanted to see his daughter-in-law. That is why the marriage took place. So here we cannot say that entry of the daughter-in-law is the cause of the death of father-in-law. So this is your fallacy of post hoc ergo propter hoc. Then fallacy of mistaking a condition to be the cause. You know, cause is the sum total of conditions. A plus B plus C plus D plus E is equal to cause. So, A is a part of the cause, B is a part of the cause, C is also a part of the cause. So, these are the conditions. Sometimes what happens, we take one important condition to be the cause. Gote important condition को हमें cause भाବରେ नहीं जाऊ. There we commit the fallacy. Suppose a boy failed in the examination. Then we ask, why did you fail in the examination? Kahin ki fail ho galo? Then he will say that because my father was ill, I failed in the examination. But this is only one condition. There are many other conditions. He was not intelligent. He was not attending the regular classes. He was not having any study time. Then he was not having any books also. So these are the different conditions. So when these conditions are combined together, we get the cause. So if we take one condition to be the cause, we commit the fallacy. Then the next fallacy is fallacy of ignoring the negative condition. You know, cause is the sum total of conditions, positive and negative taken together. Positive condition means condition should be present and negative conditions means conditions should be absent. Okay? Suppose you need fire, then what do you need? You need a matchbox, matchstick and they should be dry in character. You have to strike the matchstick against the matchbox in a particular way and strong wind must not be blowing. So here matchstick is a positive condition, matchbox is a positive condition and they should be dry, this is another positive condition, manner of striking against the matchbox is another positive condition and strong wind, this should be absent. This is a negative condition because if the jor pavan bohila tale niya livi jivo. So positive condition should be present and negative condition should be absent. Suppose some brilliant students are there and they are gold medalists, but they are not unable to get any job. They are not being selected in any of the interviews. So we say that brilliancy is unimportant. This is wrong. Here what happens? We concentrate on the positive conditions, we ignore the negative conditions. नेगेटिव कंडीशंस कौन ना लैक ऑफ पर्सनालिटी लैक ऑफ फ्लुएंसी इन इंग्लिश से से इंटरव्यू रे पाऊ नाही so we neglect the negative conditions. Now the next one is fallacy of mistaking a remote condition to be the cause. The cause should be immediate antecedent, but if we take a remote antecedent then it will not be a cause, it will be a conditional cause because it will depend on another condition. आ गोटे condition ऊपर depend करिवो. Suppose we say what is the cause of India's independence? Then someone said Sepoy mutiny of 1857 is the cause of India's independence. से कहिबो सिपाही विद्रोह जो 1857 रे हेतला सेति पई आमे इंडिपेंडेंस पाइलु बट देयर इज ए लॉन्ग गैप बिटवीन सिपाही म्यूटिनी एंड इंडिया's independence. So this cannot be your cause, a remote condition cannot be your cause. Then fallacy of mistaking the co-effects of a cause as cause and effect. Sometimes one cause is there, गोटे cause थिबो तार केते गुडे effect थिबो. Suppose दीटा effect अच्छे आमे कौन करू we mistakenly think that these two effects are causally connected. आमे कहूँ दीटा effect हूँ आमे कहूँ दे गोटे cause गोटे effect सेटा आमे भूल रे कहूँ केमिति डे एंड नाइट तमे देखिबो डे पूर्वरु सब बेले नाइट आसुची नाइट पूर्वरु डे आसुची. So day is immediate invariable antecedent of the night, night also is invariable antecedent of the day. So we can say day is the cause of the night or night is the cause of the day, but this is wrong. Day and night, these are two effects of one cause. What is the cause? Cause is rotation of the earth on its own axis in 24 hours around the sun. So rotation of the earth on its own axis, जो part टा sun को face कला day हैला, तर opposite part टा night हैला. So this is the fallacy of mistaking the co-effects of a cause as cause and effect. Then the next fallacy is fallacy of mistaking coexistence as causal relation. Sometimes what happens, two things exist together, but they are not causally connected. Suppose a mango is there and it smells sweet and it also tastes sweet. Sweet smell, sweet taste, these are not causally connected. सेमाने केवल एकाठी रही छंती. We cannot say they are causally connected. सेमिति good behavior and good appearance. A person is very handsome to look at and his behavior also is good. We say that his appearance is the cause of his good behavior. No, not that. These are not causally connected. They exist together. Then fallacy of supposing the effect to be the cause and the cause to be the effect. Sometimes we make the we confuse between cause and effect. We take cause to be the effect and again we take the effect to be the cause. एठी हमें confuse कर दो, cause को effect भावरे नाओ, effect को cause भावरे नाओ. A person's recognition is considered to be the cause of his achievement. But this is not the case. His achievement is the cause of his recognition. Suppose तमो संगे गोटे पिला पढुची, he stands first in all the examinations, he gets all the scholarships, he becomes first in debate competition, essay competition, everywhere he becomes first. So his achievement is the cause of his recognition. So here we confuse between the cause and effect, and this is your fallacy of supposing the effect to be the cause and cause to be the effect. So this is about the fallacies of causation. Now in the next class we will discuss the fallacy of illicit generalization and fallacy of false analogy. Then we will discuss the ignoratio elenchi. So students, there are certain fallacies in causation. You must read all these fallacies of causation. These are very important fallacies and question comes on this. Non causa pro causa, fallacy of post hoc ergo propter hoc, this is also very important fallacy, and fallacy of mistaking a condition to be the cause, this is also an important fallacy. Then fallacy of mistaking coexistence as causal relation, this is also an important fallacy. So this is all about the fallacies. So thank you students, thank you very much.